All right, looks like we're live. Just turn my volume up. Third Eye Gems. Hello, everyone. Thank you for popping in. Right now, I'm viewing Matthew Trent Jewelry's request to go live. Popping in any moment. Hi, Matthew.
Hey, Tanner, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm all right. I feel liberated without my mask on.
Is it one of the first times in you're in your store, right?
Yes. Yes, I am. My little office here. So we're required to wear face masks all day, every day.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are keeping safe, and yeah, thank you for being on. It looks like we have a whole bunch of people coming in right now. Just to let everyone know, this is Matthew Trent of Matthew Trent Jewelry. He has come on because he won the Editor's Choice Award for this year's Spectrum competition. And yeah, thank you for coming on. And we can just dive right in. First, I just wanted to ask you about, just tell us about your history with these Spectrum Awards. I know you've been in the industry for a while, a little over 30 years or so.
Well, we've had our business for 32 years, going on 33. The first time I ever entered the Spectrum Awards was, I think, around 91. It may have been 92 or 93, but it was somewhere in there.
Right.
Didn't win. And then we entered again a couple of years later, maybe the next year. And then I believe we entered right close to 2000.
Okay.
So I think actually we entered maybe 3 times, either 2 or 3 times. And didn't win any of them, which, I'm a little bit competitive, so if I don't win, it's something I want to win at, and it frustrates me a little bit. So we went away.
Right.
Went away until this year.
So,
we've always, anytime we go to Tucson, our first stop, of course, is the AGTA. So it's been part of our lives really since we went into business in 1988.
Really? Wow. Well, but you did win this year, and
yes, I did, and I feel vindicated.
And just to show everyone, this is so that everyone can see what piece did win. So here is a straight-on picture, one of the professional photo shots that we did of it. And throughout this interview, I'll show some of the ones that you guys sent over, some of the work in progresses. But so what spurred the interest in entering again this year? Because it sounds like you went almost like 20 years without entering. Why this year?
It just seemed like the year. When we were in Tucson in February, we ran across this stone in a matched pair of these autumn tourmalines, and we never buy on our first day. We go look at everything, and then we come back and buy everything the next day. And so this is one stone in particular that we could not get out of our memory. I mean, it just had to be. So, I don't think we sort of bought it thinking we would enter the Spectrum Award with it. But we wanted to come up with something that would be, for lack of a better term, epic. And how would we do that? And when we
this was the stone
took it out of the box, the colors didn't come out quite as much as it does now in its current state.
Right.
And so, we've been messing around with this ceramic for a while and just trying to come up with something that would take us to the promised land, get us to over the edge with the Spectrum Awards. But, it's a weird year. And I'm not going to say I had nothing else to do, but at the same time, it's something that both of us, my daughter and I, felt was really important and important for our business. And take a step out there, take a chance.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for entering and supporting the competition. I mean, your piece was absolutely phenomenal. And the thought that must have gone into this, I mean, let's talk about that actually right now, since we kind of have it up and you're talking about how it started as the loose gemstone. You sent over, or Kylie, your daughter, sent over some pictures of some of the renderings, like when it first, the inspiration. So let me pull up one of those, and then I think everyone would love to hear how you kind of get started, how did this piece actually come to its final form?
I actually saw a picture of a stairway in 2019. That's it right there. And I love the shape. I couldn't get past the shape. It was like I was haunted. Years ago, I wanted to make something like this using a conch shell and inlaying all the gems right into the conch shell. So I actually had a conch shell sitting here that I started cutting up. I just
Right.
couldn't. I just couldn't make it get over the edge. I couldn't get the pink was too strong in the conch, and it just wasn't working for me. Um, and then I saw another post, Instagram, um, on a site called Crevichet is the lady's name, and her
Paula?
obsession with color is amazing. I mean, just
Oh yeah.
amazing. So that's where the sort of ombre came from of sapphire wrapping under and around. So it gives you the stairway feeling.
This
At the
part
same
is
time,
like
right? Like you're
up the
falling into
side,
it.
and then it how
Right.
yeah, and then it kind of wraps around on in.
And then where do you stop it? You can't just stop it there. So you have to run down the finger. So, in the manufacturing side, it really gave me fits, that line of sapphires and making it work and making it be seamless. But that's really where it came from, that stairway and the white.
So it was this stairway, or was it your daughter also sent over this one too? Is that a
Yes.
stairway, or was that
That was the feeling I was trying to project with the color. The stairway
okay?
is the
Okay,
shape and the whiteness of the piece. And actually that's white in there. So, and if you put light straight down on it, it'll cast color down into the white. It's really a fascinating, I'm not going to lie to you. Some of it's, plenty of it's accidental, but it really just worked out nicely. But it was a
that's awesome.
challenge.
I I believe it, and it was kind of funny on our call before this. Your daughter had sent that she sent over like 15 of the renderings or something like that, and you were joking about how 15. I could have sworn there were 50.
Oh, exactly. And there's plenty that got thrown away. So, iterations, and also you also can't count the ones that I drew in the steam on the shower. So,
Right.
it's that, but it's, the thing is about jewelry, and if you want to try and get good at making jewelry, um, it kind of owns you. You're either obsessed with it or you can't be everything you want to be or what I expect myself to be.
Well, I mean, it all the hard work definitely shows in this piece. I mean, like it is just absolutely spectacular. The color and you said it was a it was the white element in it was a new technique. The ceramic, is that what you were talking about?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's something you see a lot of in Europe, and I think you'll start to see more of it here. Uh,
Okay.
we've done some in black and some matte black, and it can be tricky. I mean, you get bubbles, you get unevenness. We probably worked on the white element of this for 2 months, trying to get
Really?
it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, just back. There's a pit. Do it again. There's a pit. Do it again. It's not even. Do it again. So it's and it's down inside something. So it was, it gave us some trouble.
Well, I'm glad that the final piece definitely came out just,
You
green
too.
and just it was like and how you matched and all those what the sapphires kind of wrapping around. Did you say, or
Yes.
those
It's all
sapphires?
corundum. All corundum. Uh,
Okay.
and that sometimes you have a picture in your head and you want to create a certain look, and I'm carving the wax and I'm fitting the head that holds the stone in place into the wax,
Hmm.
All the while, I'm trying to find the sapphires because I can't find them. Right,
And
and
was that
we're still a month from
piece?
the deadline, and I still can't find the sapphires. So
And was that
luckily, I
because
got
of?
a text from Kim Collins actually ahead of
Okay.
time.
Oh, so Kim Collins supplied some of the sapphires. Is that what you
Yep,
said?
all of them. She just sent me a big parcel of them.
Wow.
So yeah, it was kind of nice. Worked out.
Yeah, it did because you finished the piece right before the competition, like our deadline, correct? Like it was like almost like you just finally put the final pieces together, and was
Yeah, I
glad
mean,
to.
I finished it, steamed it, and we took a couple pictures of it, and I drove it over to the AGTA.
Right, because
Not
you're
not very not very
out.
sexy, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, because I was surprised when I was going through the like our winner spreadsheet, just start calling and scheduling some of these interview lives or live interviews, and I was like, wait, Preston Center. I was like, that is oddly very very familiar, and I forgot that you were located right here. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
There's a
actually went to the wrong building first, but that's okay.
oh yeah, the two towers have the one yeah the one's identical.
No, I went to like the wrong building. I went to the wrong place. That's I found my way there finally.
Yep, you did. But so tell me about like this year. So you were talking about how like you just couldn't find the sapphires
Yep.
for a lot for an extended period of time. Was that, would you attribute that because of this year with all the shutdowns and the quarantines, or
Yeah, I
how was
mean there was a time in April and May that goods were a little challenging to get.
right? And so what was that process like for this year for you? Like, because I've got to imagine that it had to have been much more challenging and harder to do business, and but it clearly worked out. But
Well, the thing is when you go looking for something and you call an office, everybody's got things forwarded to their cell phones because they're not going to work. And
right,
it didn't matter what we were looking for. This was what we kept experiencing both in LA, New York. Um, I mean, we would have dealers send us, they'd sneak into their office to ship us something and send us videos of the view outside 585 Fifth Avenue or wherever they were.
hmm,
One person walking around. It's like, it's new and no cars,
right,
nothing going on. It was like a ghost town. It gives you chills just thinking about it.
yeah.
I still have the videos.
I mean, that's going to be like mind-boggling to look back on in just a couple of years when hopefully things kind of go back to normal. But just to think about this time of everything kind of being still.
Yeah. I mean, really still in a place that doesn't stand still.
Yeah, no, that especially that city, especially New York, down some of those. But that's I'm glad it still worked out, and using a fellow AGTA member and um, to finalize this piece. But before we kind of wrap up, this call or this interview, is there anything you'd like to share with our listeners? And you've been in the you've been designing and creating jewelry for over 30 years. Is there anything you'd like to part with, and some little piece of wisdom or that you'd like to share with people?
Well, I think, everybody's got their own way and everybody has to find their own way. My way was always just to work harder than the other guy.
Hmm.
Whereas maybe, I don't fancy myself as having a talent per se, but I worked hard enough to where I could develop a style or a look or be able to do something.
Hmm.
And I'm going to digress just a second, but when I was about 17 and I was working for a master goldsmith, he had a little bit of a gambling issue. So I would meet him at work. I'd skip school, meet him at work at 7 so he could go catch a flight to Vegas. I'm from Phoenix.
Really?
And I would work. I would stay there and keep the store open until the sales lady showed up and everybody else. So um, one day he left, and I decided I was going to carve a wax, do a sculpture. He fancied himself a sculptor. So I started the sculpture, worked on it all day. And he got back about 6:30, and he came in. He said, "So what'd you do all day?" He's a Sicilian guy. "What'd you do all day?" I said, this. And I showed him the wax. I figured, well, he's probably going to fire me. That's okay. The way it goes. And he looked at it. He said, "Do you mean you did this on my time?" I said, "Yes, sir, I did." He handed it back to me. He said, "Finish it." And I spent the next 3 months working on it. So, you know, sometimes you have to take a risk. Sometimes you have to work 120 hours a week. But if you want to find what you want to find, if you want to get there, you're going to have to put in the time. And it's a matter of, am I going to be a great designer first, or am I going to try and figure out how to be a great craftsman first? I chose being a craftsman before I chose being a designer.
Okay. Because you were even telling me on our call the other day that you didn't fancy yourself to be a drawer, but
no, I'm not very good at that. I can do it if I have to.
Yeah.
When we opened our store in 1988, we were a trade shop. And so people said, "Hey, okay, now great. Now I need you to draw and paint this for my client to approve it." Oh. Yeah. So, you know, it was a bit of a beating, but we did it. And I did it, you know, for several years until we just quit doing trade work like that. But, you know, you do what you have to do. And I see things in 3D. So, you know, it's hard for me to look at a flat thing that I've drawn and say, "Oh, I see the 3D." No, I see it in 3D. I can close my eyes and see it in 3D. So, but that's just me. That's not everybody.
Right.
It just takes effort. Gotta wanna. That's probably the best thing. You know, if you want it, you can get it. You just have to figure out a way to get it. And it's hard. Just like the gal said, I watched the last interview, I think, with Rosa.
Yep.
She said the same thing. It's fun. If you love it, it's fun. I do my hobby every day. Yeah. And I would probably do it more if my wife would let me. But, you know, you still have to have family too. It's one thing we all learned this year.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. And we actually just got a question that came across my screen, and they were asking, so I guess they're a beginner goldsmith or designer, and they were asking, where do they start? Or they're a beginning designer trying to become a getting into goldsmith. Where would you recommend them starting out?
Well, it depends on, you know, how much money you have, right? I worked with a gentleman in Phoenix years ago, and he came from a 5-year jewelry college in either Belgium or Switzerland. So, you know, they have them in Italy and France as well. That's great, but that's a challenge that most people can't. I went to GIA. I got my gemology degree. I did repair, setting, and I also did the design class and hand engraving. So for me, that gave me, you know, a little bit of knowledge, and then going out and find people to let you practice. Back in 1979, I was making $5 an hour, man. That was a lot of money back then. So it's not easy. If you can find a school that will at least help you, short classes to give you some knowledge, and go practice it on your own. But it is not easy, and you have to talk somebody into hiring you, giving you a chance.
Right.
It won't be with gold, probably. Maybe silver.
Oh yeah. Well, Matthew, thank you for coming on. And for anyone who missed the very beginning, this is Matthew Trent of Matthew Trent Jewelry, who won our Editor's Choice Award this year for their Spectrum competition. And you know, I hope we see you again next year, and we don't have another 20-year gap between the next time you enter.
Okay, Tim.
But thank you so much for coming on. This was, an absolute joy for us. Giving our listeners a little, inside inspiration as to like what it's like for you to make your pieces, and a little bit more behind the scenes besides just seeing the magnificent work that you guys do.
Well, thank you. It's a lot of fun. I'm super blessed.
That's awesome. Well, you guys stay safe, through these holidays, and and we'll be in contact. Thank you again so much.
Thanks, Tanner. Thank you. Thanks, AGTA.
All right.
See you later.
Bye.